Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, who has the edge as we get closer to Mayweather and McGregor's mega fight? Plus, Skip reveals inside information on an opportunity Colin Kaepernick passed up. And Deshaun Watson impressed in his debut. Did he play himself into a starting role with the Texans? Skip, Shannon, let's debate. Let's get started with Conor and Floyd. We're now just 16 days away from their mega fight in Vegas. ESPN spoke to 4 of Floyd's recent sparring partners, and they all said McGregor has no chance to beat Mayweather. Among the reasons they gave were Floyd's power, conditioning, and mind. Shannon, what was your takeaway from the article?
These 4 legitimate fighters, all world champions. One of them is the current world champion, Errol Spence Jr., current welterweight champ. 22 victories, 0 defeats, 19 KOs. Zab Super Judah, Jack Catterall.
Super Judah.
Zab Super Judah, Jack Catterall, and DeMarcus Chop Corley.
Oof.
I love saying chop. Chop them down, Skip.
Boy, here they
Skip,
come.
all they did was confirm what I've been trying to tell you all along. And what you fail to realize, why he does what he does. He gets in that stance with that right held high. He's blocking that left hand, that dominant, that lightning left hand that you say Conor McGregor has.
Yep.
Tucks the chin, protected from getting hit on the button. And then when you shoot your shot, he comes over the top with that right or that sneaky left. He knows that. Got more power than you think. Everybody said, well, he hasn't. Errol Spence Jr. says, I've seen Floyd drop guys in 16-ounce training gloves. Not regular, 10-ounce, you call them pillars. Them 16-ounce, they're a body pillar. I sleep with a body pillar, big old long one. 6-foot-long body pillar. And Floyd dropping folks with those gloves on, Skip.
Wow.
And I know somebody else he's going to drop on August 26th.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later. And you listen at the guys talk, the pinpoint accuracy in which he hits you with those punches. DeMarcus Chop Corley says he's like a snake. You can't kill him, but he just keeps striking. Yak up! Yak up! Ooh, get back, Skip.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. He said it's like a snake. He said you try to kill him, but he just keeps biting.
I didn't hear those sound effects when I was reading the piece.
Yeah,
maybe I should have clicked on something.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
you got to put that in there.
Accompanying sound effects.
Yeah, you need the sound effects.
Yeah,
you know it.
Yeah.
Ooh. And it's like he just keep hitting that same spot. Kevin's like, well, hold on. I'm protected. How do you keep hitting it? How are these punches coming? And everybody keeps saying you think you throw power. He doesn't throw with power. And he says, like, he has brittle hands. He doesn't. But you notice people don't walk through his punches. He said his power comes from the quickness in which he throws them.
Yep.
Ooh. Woo. Then all of a sudden, you look trickle. That's blood coming
Trickle?
down.
I haven't seen many
Oh,
trickles.
yeah, you've seen it. You've seen it.
I haven't. Pacquiao had no trickles after 12 rounds.
Yeah, he had
12
some.
rounds?
Yeah, he had
no
some.
trickles?
Yeah,
and
he
he's
had
fighting
some.
with one arm tied behind his back? Needs shoulder surgery?
Ask Ricky Hatton. Ask Sean B. Mitchell. Ask Zab Super Judah. Ask unanimous. These are world champions, Skip. Boxers. Not novice. Your guy is a novice. I mean, think about what these guys are saying about him. That's like Drew Brees. When he came on, I said at the Super Bowl, remember he said that throw? I mean, think about it. Here's a guy, Drew Brees, 5,000-yard passing seasons. He has more of those than every other quarterback in the NFL combined.
Yep.
And he's raving.
Yep.
Only Aaron Rodgers can make that throw, can make some of these throws that you see him make.
Yep.
That's what these guys are doing. They're gushing about the greatness, the
great.
flawlessness in which Floyd Money Mayweather will pick your guy apart. I love it. Ooh. Small target, 10 chuck. Hey, because I know you're going to try to shoot that jab and try to hit me on the button with chuck. And then when you throw it, I'm coming over the top with his right.
He is. I'll give you that. He is a small target. As Conor told him in the first media session, you're too little. Little head, little torso, little legs, little tiny legs, skinny little legs. Okay, so here's the truth of what we have here in this piece, quoting 4 sparring partners.
Former world champions, one current world champion.
All 4 were paid, and I'm going to assume well paid, by Floyd Mayweather Jr. to be his sparring partner. And all 4 treated Floyd and gushed with what I just call blind reverence of boxers for the best defensive fighter in boxing. And I've told you from the start, he's the greatest defensive fighter ever. He has perfected the art of deflecting or just flat out avoiding punches. And flicking with punches, just flicking with punches that catch opponents out of the blue unexpectedly. Just little punches, little mosquito bite punches, and they're talking about, oh, the body punches hurt so much. Baloney, they hurt so much. They sting, they sting. Oh, come on.
Oh, look, did you hear what Paulie Malignaggi said? So he whimpers like a little girl when you hit him in the ribs.
Here's the flip side. Paulie has bad blood with Conor and vice versa. So Conor wanted to hire the one guy he does not like. He wanted to bring somebody in who would have a chip on his shoulder and actually try to box with no respect Conor McGregor, who has never boxed anybody professionally.
Correct.
So I think Conor stiffed him because Conor just doesn't like him. I'm not sure he got paid. I think I read something where Paulie said, I still am waiting for my check. And Paulie felt set up because he flew him right in and had a big presentation where he had a bunch of dignitaries come sit ringside.
Dana White.
Yeah, and they went 12 real rounds with Joe Cortez, a real referee, trying to preside over the affair because it was going to get chippy and it was going to get ugly and it was going to get testy. It was real boxing for 12 rounds. And before Paulie got mad about it, the first time he was asked about it, he said, well, I got some rhythm and I got in some shots in the middle rounds, but Conor came on late. You could see it in Paulie's face that he really came on late because it was reddened up. It was lumped up, as you like to say. Yeah. So that was the flip side of what Floyd does. He's going to pay you handsomely to come in and then gush about how great a fighter he is. Stop it.
He shouldn't. Hold on, Skip. Are you saying he should stiff his sparring partners like Conor McGregor did?
No, but I don't think he wants his sparring partners to come after him the way Paulie clearly went after Conor McGregor.
Well, Conor McGregor was hoping that because that's what Conor McGregor is. Conor McGregor is a counter puncher. So he wanted someone to be angry and to attack him. So you play into his hands. But what Floyd Mayweather is not going to do that. I know what he said he's going to do, that he's going to be fighting for all the black people, whatever. I get all that, Skip. But the fact of the matter is, these are world champion, former and current, that says Floyd.
And you know what?
What?
Shannon, I'm going to try to make you understand it, but you won't get it until very late in the night of August the 26th. You'll finally wake up and see what I've been trying to tell you. These guys, you're going to be hungover because you're going to be so depressed. You're going to need to escape. You're going to need to anesthetize yourself after what you witnessed.
Absolutely not.
Because here's what's going on. All these boxers are spouting conventional wisdom. It's everything they were taught to respect within the confines in the sport of boxing. Conor McGregor is strictly unconventional wisdom. Trust me on this.
Yeah.
He has high combat IQ. He has rare imagination beyond the world, outside the box that is boxing. So he's going to attack this fight from a direction and an approach that Floyd has never even thought about, that these guys can't get through their heads because Floyd has never encountered anything like a Conor McGregor who's going to come at him with a blur of stances and styles and approaches that have never even been thought about by Floyd Mayweather or certainly by any of his sparring partners. This is pure unconventional wisdom that he's going to get attacked with. So you can gush all you want about what Floyd has accomplished to get to 49-0 because none of that counts anymore. Now he's in a new world against a very different opponent.
No, he's in his world. He's in the boxing ring. A new world would be the MMA octagon. But this is where he was born. This is where he was born and raised at.
I got it. But what's going to happen very quickly is that Conor McGregor will get Floyd out of his 49-0 comfort zone. He's going to attack him with trash talk he's never heard before. He's going to make him mad. He's going to push the right buttons and make him make just one mistake. We have seen in the past, you can look on YouTube, there's a whole collage of Floyd getting tagged, but he was always able, because of his quickness of mind and head, to escape after that.
Right.
Never get tagged twice where you got hurt and you got in trouble.
Right.
And hence, he's undefeated. But this guy is going to tag him because he is taggable. He is not invincible.
No.
He is not impenetrable.
How do we know
He will
that?
get tagged.
How do we know?
Because I've seen Zab Judah hit him before.
Have you? I've seen.
Especially the lefties have hit him.
Shane Mosley hit him flush on the button and dropped him to a knee. That's the hardest I've ever seen Floyd hit, and I've seen a lot of Floyd fights. Probably his last 20 fights I've watched.
I saw Ortiz catch him. I saw Maidana catch him.
Not flush like Sugar Shane. But here's the thing, though, Skip. We know Conor McGregor has been dropped. Nate Diaz dropped him, and Conor tried to get his bear.
Didn't drop him.
He
took him down. He wrestled him to the ground.
No, Conor tried to
drop him.
Conor tried to take him down after he had put them thumbs on him. He put them hands on him, Joy. You know.
Are they going to wrestle on August 26th?
No.
Help me out. Because if they wrestle, Floyd's really in trouble because he's too little.
That's the problem that your guy has. Because normally he could try and take you down. He could kick you, he could knee you, he could submit you, arm bar you. He can do none of that. His fighting style, the gloves all up, high, wide base. Floyd just gonna be shooting that. And you heard him. What they say, Skip? That right hand is the most dominant thing in boxing. He shoots it like a jab.
Yeah, his last knockout was in 1999. Do the math. Help me out. What?
Pop.
Yeah, pop.
Ooh.
Ooh. Is that a mosquito bite? I think I just felt something, but I'm not sure. Did he hit me? Like Victor Ortiz.
Skip.
Give me again, champ. Give me again, champ.
Yeah. And what happened?
You can't crack an egg.
Hey, hold on.
He sucker punched him.
No, Skip.
Are you going to take that to your bank? Is that all you got?
That's my line of thinking.
The
punches you see barely seldom get you out.
You know what? If Conor McGregor starts talking to the referee, like trash talking the referee, he just might get cold-cocked. Okay. But I don't think he is. Well, I just don't.
First of all, Skip, he's going in uncharted waters. He's going 12 rounds. Do all that talking if you want to. Now, this is not your territory. You're the lion in the octagon, but you're not. Floyd Mayweather is the apex predator in this fight, in his habitat.
You have no idea.
I got
what's
every
coming.
idea.
And speaking of Super Judah, the quote that made me literally laugh out loud.
What do you think?
He said that Floyd studies your background down to your kids, your wife, who your mama is, who your daddy is. He doesn't watch fights. He prepares for the person. Sometimes when you learn the person, you don't have to learn how they fight. That describes Conor McGregor better than anyone's ever described Conor McGregor, the master of trash talk, of psychological warfare. Who won every media session, even by your own admission? That's not Floyd's game.
No.
Who won? Who went right for the throat right away? Obviously, we got the IRS jokes, but then we got, he can't read. He can't read. A little bit of a low blow, but the truth. And what is Conor's quote in the current ESPN The Magazine article? If you tell somebody the truth to their face, they will crumble. He hasn't even scratched the surface of all the vulnerabilities psychologically of Floyd Mayweather. Do you know what we're going to hear at, say, the weigh-in? Or that Floyd will hear face-to-face? He'll hear about his friendship with Donald Trump. He'll hear about his friendship, which I hear is no longer, with Justin Bieber. He'll hear about the prison time that Floyd had to do for domestic violence. Yep. We haven't even gotten started yet.
Yeah.
This guy is the master of disaster when it comes to trash talk. And Zab Judah, Super Judah, dares to make this point that Floyd is going to psychologically break down a Conor McGregor who grew up on the mean streets of Dublin in an all-out gang war. And again, the quote in the current ESPN The Magazine article is, he knew the people who were doing the killing and the people who were getting killed. And you think he's afraid of a guy who can no longer punch, who's 40 years of age, who isn't even in the same stratosphere with him when it comes to trash talk? No. This is just silliness. If they don't get what they're about to be up against.
If this was a lip sparring match, there's no question about it.
Thank you.
McGregor would win. But if you look at these talks about body work and conditioning, say Floyd does 30 minutes on the mitt. Say, I've never seen him get tired.
Have you seen McGregor's body?
Zab Super Judah says he lines up 15, 20 sparring partners. Hey, you round one, you round two, you round three. Just keep him fresh.
Yeah.
He don't take no time off. As a matter of fact, he don't even take a break. They say, Floyd, hey, ding.
Yeah. Paulie Malignaggi is a two-weight former champion of the world.
So is Zab Super Judah.
Okay, and he brought Paulie in and said, I don't need anybody else. I want you for 12 rounds. Come at me because you don't like me.
Exactly.
What you got, Paulie?
You took the man
You don't got enough, Paulie.
Floyd brings him in. put him up at a nice hotel, probably the Bellagio, get you some nice rest because I want you well rested.
Pay him well.
He is not flying anybody 5 hours, bring them off and sabotage them so they can look good in front of the cameras.
Thank you.
Paulie knew what he did. That's why he left. But that's okay, Skip, because August 26th, guess what? Floyd's not going to have to travel anywhere. He going to get in that Bugatti.
Well, he's only got to go like 3 blocks.
Well, worry about how far he got to go.
Okay.
He might walk.
Good. You going to walk with him?
With a man's bag, he was behind him.
You going to lead him into the ring? Followed by 3 IRS agents?
Hold up, Skip, that's a low blow, Skip.
Yep. Carrying their little briefcases.
That's okay.
Ready to collect.
They'll get it when we give it to them, and not before. That they need to stop putting my name in the paper, too, before I come see them. IRS. We gonna pay you your money after this fight. Now let us take care of our business and bust this Irishman up, Conor McGregor, for doing all this trash talking, talking about monkeys, talking about dance, all that.
He did.
But don't worry about it.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Don't worry about it.
He's pushing all those buttons.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone, Floyd. Come after me, Floyd. Do exactly what you said yesterday you're going to do, Floyd. Come get me. Fight aggressively.
He did. He pushed the right button.
Don't duck and run.
He pushed that button on the elevator that says ass whipping. And he's going up to the top floor for Floyd. That's what Floyd's waiting for him at. Bap, bap, bap. Bap, bap. Then what? You heard everybody says you've never seen anybody walk through his punches.
Your sound effects are way too loud. It's more like.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Those are Floyd punches.
Skip. What did they say?
It's like telegraph punches.
How many times you see Madonna say Madonna was coming on strong, and then Floyd started hitting with that 1-2 piece? Bop, bop.
Madonna or
Medina?
Oh, I thought it was.
No, not Madonna.
Okay, I didn't.
Madonna
think so.
Mike's. Those
I might have missed that one.
No,
but
Medina. Marcus Medina.
Yeah.
What happened? Floyd started backing him up with that pap pap.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened? Why wouldn't he come forward? Them little tap, tap, they don't even hurt. But they like, oh, I don't want no more of that. Come on. No, we got 4 more rounds. You're going to get some more of this. Conor McGregor will get dealt with. It's going to be ugly, and I'm going to love every minute of it.
This is the baddest man on the planet for his weight.
This
is a man who's been fighting basically bare knuckles in the octagon.
I get all that.
Yeah.
I get all that, Skip. That sounds good. But when you get in that square, 49-0.
And I know Floyd filed, as did Conor, for 8-ounce gloves with the commission. Now they both have to go before the commission and lobby and convince the commission that they both want 8-ounce gloves. Floyd will not do that. He won't show.
Oh, stop. He going to show up.
He will not show up. And if he does, he'll say, you know what? I can see where you guys are coming from here. You just want to protect our safety in the ring, so I get where you're coming from. I believe in you guys.
That's what the governing sports body is supposed to do.
It's all lip service.
They're supposed
It's all posing. He's a fake tough guy.
Whoa, Skip. Where's all this coming from?
I'm just telling you.
What is hostility? What's all this bass in your voice?
No.
Oh, he's a fake tough guy.
Well, you know he is.
Skip, a governing body is to protect its players. It's to protect. That's why they went from 15 to 12. That's why as you went up in weight, you had.
Lord have mercy.
And that's why as you go up in weight, you have to fight in bigger gloves, Skip. We want to protect. We want our fighters healthy.
Yes.
But just for this one, we might make an exception so Floyd can beat the brakes off it.
You're going to feel good in 8-ounce gloves?
Ooh, I'm going to feel good on that dog. I got a bunch of bets, Skip. Well, you already saw the post.
8-ounce gloves, blood will flow.
Joy, you saw it. I got me like, I want to get me a big old bottle. 2 bottles. Paradise and Ray Shard.
But you told me you don't drink.
Don't worry about what I do. On that night, Skip, I'm going to be toe up.
No, you're not.
I'm like,
You're going to be toes up.
No, they're going to like,
toes up.
I'm like, hey, 5 more minutes.
That is not the night.
It's going to be a long night.
Yeah, it's going to be, it got to be. I'm going to turn it all the way up.
No mercy. Hey guys, before we move on, I wanted to tell you that the Undisputed podcast is brought to you by Barbasol. The biggest thing to happen to Barbasol since shaving cream is also the only thing to happen to Barbasol since shaving cream. Introducing new Barbasol razors. The brand America trusts for a close, comfortable shave now has premium disposable razors. Barbasol's close shave technology on every razor means you get an advanced pivoting head and ultra-thin open flow blades. The Ultra 6 Plus razor also features a 7th blade specifically designed to refine and style tricky areas like under the nose, sideburns, and beard. Visit Barbasol.com and get a $2 savings coupon and see for yourself why Barbasol razors are the #1 new disposable razors out there. You're looking good, America. You're shaving with Barbasol.
No mercy.
Within the last 2 weeks, the Ravens and Dolphins became the latest teams to show interest in Colin Kaepernick, but he remains unsigned. Earlier this week, Spike Lee promoted a rally in support of Kaepernick at the NFL headquarters in New York on August 23rd. Skip, you're hearing about a new development in the Kaepernick situation. Can you tell us about it?
I can. Leaves me very deflated to talk about it, but I will. I believe Colin Kaepernick just passed on an opportunity that would have gotten him the job he deserves as a quarterback in the National Football League. And I have also come to the belief that a picture that was recently posted by his girlfriend further damaged Colin's chances of getting said job. Now, let me explain. To understand this story, you have to understand who John Wooten is and was. He was a Pro Bowl guard for the Cleveland Browns who opened holes for the great Jim Brown back in the day in Cleveland. John then went on to become the personnel director for the Dallas Cowboys, then for the Eagles. He was sort of a GM/personnel director. He ran the drafts for the Cowboys and the Eagles, and he also worked with Ozzie Newsome with the Ravens. And John is now the highly respected chairman of the Fritz Pollard Alliance, which oversees the running of the Rooney Rule for the National Football League. And every Super Bowl week on Thursday night in the Super Bowl host city, John presides over a big soiree, a gala, featuring all the current black coaches in the National Football League, all the current black GMs and executives in the National Football League, many of the former black stars of the National Football League, and every year that I've attended, and I've attended a whole bunch of them, also attended by Roger Goodell. My point is, John Wooten has clout that runs all the way to the league office in New York City.
Correct.
When John speaks, they listen. So John has contacted me several times over the last month, out of his mind, at his wit's end over what an outrage it is that Colin Kaepernick does not have a job. Greatest injustice he'd seen in a long, long time, and he has seen many of them. And he kept texting me, "This is not right. What can we do?" I have my little suggestions, but John finally came up with this one. Back in 1967 in Cleveland, Ohio, John was a driving force behind the summit supporting the great Muhammad Ali, who did not want to be drafted into service, and he did not want to fight in Vietnam. So you want to talk about a Mount Rushmore? They got Kareem and Bill Russell and, of course, Jim Brown.
Kareem was still in college.
He was still in college. He was still Lou Alcindor at that point. They all came to Cleveland to literally stand behind the great Muhammad Ali in support his conscientious objecting.
Correct.
And it was a powerful and beautiful thing to watch. And John decided, I want to do the same thing for Colin Kaepernick. So he goes to Jim Brown, still a very close friend of his. Jim is in. He's looking around. He goes to our man, Ray Lewis. Ray, according to John, said, I'm in. He was about to go forward, get some other black stars, past and present, maybe some other big stars in other sports to do just what he did in Cleveland, depending on who would want to join in, because I think a lot of people would have joined. I don't know. Maybe LeBron would have joined. I don't know for sure. I can't speak for them. But he needed, obviously, Colin Kaepernick to sign off on this idea, and he couldn't even get in touch through his advisors with Colin Kaepernick. And it became very frustrating to John because this is the irony of this summit. John is one who did not want Colin Kaepernick to back off his stance, which is obviously to speak out or to protest the killing by white cops of unarmed black men that was going on and on and on in this country, that continues to go on. John wanted Colin to continue his stance, to speak out just as strongly as he ever did, because as John says, the truth is the truth. And John believed in his stance and wanted, even at the summit, not to back off, but to go forward and say, I believe what I believe. Whether he continued to protest it the way he did, I don't know. But that's fine. He wanted him to continue to voice his frustrations with what is still going on in this country. Powerful spokesman, he believed. Couldn't get Colin to respond. Very frustrated. As his frustrations mounted, all of a sudden, out of the blue, John gets hit with this. Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend, Nessa, posted a picture featuring Ray Lewis hugging Steve Bisciotti after they had won the Super Bowl, obviously, in Baltimore, on top of a picture of Samuel Jackson's character hugging Leo DiCaprio's character in Django Unchained. If we could see that, please.
What's up?
John was outraged once again for a very different reason, because he thought it came across that she was speaking for Colin.
Right.
John did not like it. John then called Ray Lewis. He also called Jim Brown. And the quote he told me last night was, "I am out." John also believes that if this summit had happened, and I'm going to quote him on this, that Colin Kaepernick would have had a job. He would have been on a roster the next day. I believe in John Wooten, and I believe in that concept. This would have been a way to fight back. This is beyond any protest, the one that Spike Lee is going to be involved in New York. This has impact all the way to the Goodell level. So I believe it would have worked. And it left John so frustrated that he's wondering if Colin is getting the right advice from his inner circle. I can't speak to that. You know Colin a little bit. You've kept someone in touch with him. Your thoughts?
Skip, first of all, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people think I'm a spokesman or I'm on Colin Kaepernick's payroll. Colin Kaepernick couldn't afford me. That's why I can sit up at this desk across from you and speak unapologetic about anything.
I've never thought that for 1 second,
No,
so go ahead.
Because I can speak unapologetic, I'm in no one's pocket. Not the team, not any organization. So I get to speak freely, openly, and honestly. I talked to Cap last night, and Cap has some trust issues, especially with people that have flip-flopped with him and about him on this topic. He's like, either you ride with me or you ride against me. You can't ride with me one day because it seems to be the right thing to do, and then on the other day, you on the other side of the fence. So he has trust issues, and he said, Shed, I don't trust a whole lot of people. There's a handful of people that I trust that I believe have my best interest in mind and that I can speak to them openly and honestly. And you're one of them. I said, well, Colin, let me tell you how this picture came off. And it's a different dynamic, what you have with your lady, than what I had with my mom and sister. I said, but anything they said, people would believe that it came from me or my brother. That might not even be true, but they're going to say that's Sterling and Shannon speaking. They're saying what they want to say but can't say. So people are assuming, and it's wrong for them to assume this, but I'm saying the appearance or the perception is this is Colin Kaepernick talking. He's talking through his girlfriend. I said, Colin, look, I don't know your lady. I would never disrespect your lady. I said, but unless she can run 4-4 and throw the out route, I don't care what she's doing. I think you deserve a job. I think your body of work, your resume, you don't deserve a job. You've earned a job through your play. I'm not saying, hey, get on a team, somebody gets hurt, you win the job, so be it. But I think he's earned the right to at least get an opportunity to play in the National Football League. Skip, it kind of rubbed him the wrong way because he looks at Jim Brown and Ray Lewis of having a golden opportunity. You hear a lot of people say, well, if you get an opportunity to go to the White House, you should go and then be able to voice your opinion right there to the president. But Skip, let me tell you something about when you go to the president, when you go sit to the White House. They tell you what you can and can't say to the president. So when you go on these visits or you win the Super Bowl, you win the World Series, there is no policy. There's no president, you need to do this. So there's no way for them to get that point across. And he's looking like, hold on, y'all had this golden opportunity. Didn't you realize this was a photo op? Didn't you realize he was using you? And in the past 8 months, have you seen any blacks on camera coming out of the White House? No. So he's like, Shannon, if I speak now, everybody will say, see, this is a distraction. And if I don't speak, well, he needs to tell us he wants to play. Well, the people that know I want to play knows I want to play. We've heard Dick Cass who's in the Ravens front office, say Colin told him he wanted to play. Pete Carroll said he wanted to play, and Colin Kaepernick is a starter. John Lynch, who's now the general manager, used to work here at Fox, did a great job, said Colin told him he wanted to play. Now, he did a little caveat, but Colin needs to say that himself. Well, if he told you he wanted to play, it's almost like you don't believe him if you say he needs to tell the public that, because he told you that, so most people take people at their word when they tell them something. Skip, it's very frustrating for me for the simple fact, because I agree with you. I think he was bringing attention to something that needed attention brought to. And for some reason, all of a sudden, he can't play because he had this opinion. You and I both know he can still play in this league. There are not 100 quarterbacks in the world better than Colin Kaepernick. But for some reason, he can't get a job. Now, we know now it's not about ability, because we've seen guys that have gotten signed that are not as good a quarterbacks as Colin Kaepernick. We've seen guys that didn't tell anybody they wanted to play come out of retirement and get $10 million. So he's like, what am I to do? And I said, Colin, I don't have any answers. But I did tell him, I said, he didn't know who John Wooten was. And I'm not surprised by that. The younger generation don't know who Wooten is.
I got it.
I know who Woot is. I've talked to him on several occasions. He and I, Ozzie, and Shaq, I know you know Shaq Harris.
James Harris.
James Harris, the first black quarterback to win a playoff game. We used to have a good time laughing and talking. But I asked Colin, I said, Colin, won't you Google him? Won't you do some homework on him? Because I think this is someone that would be very beneficial, would look very good in your corner, because he's a champion for this very cause. I said, he's very influential. I said, the diversity that you see, not only with coaches, but front office management, he's a big reason why they have that in the National Football League.
He really is.
Yes. And so I think Colin's going to do his homework. And if he reaches out to me and says, well, Shannon, put me in touch with him, I have Woot's number. I have no problem doing that. But he has some trust issues, and it really bothered him that Ray said what he said.
I know. I got it. It was tough. It was tough for us.
Yes.
Because Ray, as an ambassador for the Ravens, found himself in a tough spot, halfway in between, caught in the crossfire. He spoke out of this side of his mouth, then the other side of his mouth. And I'm sure it rubbed Colin the wrong way, and obviously his girlfriend the wrong way.
Yes.
I get that. I also get it that Colin has been in such a crossfire. It's hard to know whom to trust.
That is correct.
And yet he's surrounded by all kinds of advisors, and maybe too many. But John is one you should trust.
Yes.
Because he knows corporate America. He has lived, he's come up through from the bottom to the top of the NFL. He knows how to, quote unquote, play this game.
Correct.
But he's still his own man. He is nowhere near a sellout.
No.
So
he's old school, Skip.
He's old school, but he knows the commissioner very well.
Yes.
He knows how to communicate directly with the commissioner. If you get him on your side, some eyes and ears can be opened at the top.
Correct.
Not at the bottom or the middle, at the top. And I feel like this is an opportunity missed. I know what his issues are with Jim Brown and Ray, but still, they're powerful figures in the black community and in the black sports world. Two very powerful figures. You need them on your side ultimately.
And Harry Edwards, Skip, I think Harry Edwards set him back a lot too. Because when it's referred to that Colin Kaepernick's advisor says he doesn't know if Cap wants to play, Skip, I mean, he fits the profile. Dr. Harry Edwards was at that summit, Skip. He's been one of the foremost thinkers on black politics and black social issues. So if he says that and he's Colin Kaepernick's advisor, Skip. I mean, that's like Ernestine said Skip doesn't want to do television anymore. They're going to take that to the bank. Oh, hold on, that's Skip's wife. She's speaking for Skip. And I think that really set Cap back, because that was always floating out there. Does he really want to play, or is activism his main goal? Does that mean more to him than playing quarterback in the NFL? And then when you have allegedly, as an advisor, comes out and says, well, I don't even know what Cap wants to do if Cap wants to play anymore. It took a while for that to get smoothed over. So he has some issues where trusting people, and I can see, I can understand it, because who's in this for the right reason? I mean, are you really? Skip, I don't want anything. I'm good. FS1 did good by me. They took care of it. Skip, I appreciate Skip. I might be able to get
By the way, you're doing well by FS1 too.
I might be able to get that house in about 2 or 3 years if it stays on the market. Price need to come down to about 1.8
200 million.
Yeah, 380 million.
Yeah.
But and I get it. But like I said, I see for me, Skip, when I hear things, Colin Kaepernick is advised his turn. No, because see what people don't know. I've talked to teams. And I know things that Cap doesn't even know I know. And I know things that teams don't even know I know. And I know a lot of stuff, but I'm not an insider. My job is not to go out here. All I'm doing, when I speak about Cap, I'm giving people facts, Skip. I'm saying, look at his body of work and look at some of other people's body of work that's gotten signed.
I got
That's all I'm doing. So if you think, well, no, because he trusts me. And I never want to betray anybody's trust because once that's gone, it's irreparable harm.
So my bottom line frustration is I have heard firsthand over the phone the depth of how John Wooten aches over the fact that Colin does not have a job right now. The depth of it. And it's just too bad that couldn't have connected with Cap's frustration.
Well, I think, Skip, I think there's still a chance because the one thing I do know about Cap in the almost a year that I've known him is that he will do his homework. He'll read up on John. And once he reads up on John and he realizes who he is and what he's capable of doing and how he can help him, I think that would be a meeting that can happen, that will happen.
It's disappointing that this didn't happen. And as far as not knowing who Wooten is or having issues with Ray or Jim, and no one is perfect, including Colin.
Yeah.
So, you need to keep that in mind, that these are leaders and men who have seen a lot and things that Colin can only imagine.
Yep.
And it does seem like it's time for Colin to stand up and take the reins of this situation a little bit because there's a lot of people speaking for him.
Right.
And his message seems to be a little different.
No mercy.
Deshaun Watson made his preseason debut in last night's loss to the Panthers. Watson entered the game in the second quarter and was 15 for 25 for 179 yards. He also ran for a touchdown. Let's take a listen to Watson after the game.
It was good just to get my feet wet, not just me, but all the rookies, and just get out there and just, experience my first NFL game, so it was fun. This is professional football. This is the highest level of this sport, so of course it's going to be faster, a lot, bigger guys, smarter guys, but at the same time, I'm doing the same thing they're doing, watching film and trying to play fast also. So at the end of the day, it's still football, and you just got to go out there and operate and do your job.
Skip, how impressed were you by Deshaun?
I saw the first flashes of a young man who soon will turn into the best quarterback the Houston Texans have ever had in their franchise history. I saw a Deshaun Watson who should have started last night and played at least a little while with the ones versus the ones, and who should start the next 2 preseason games so he can play starters versus starters because he deserves to be doing that already. Clearly, his ceiling is going to be much higher than Tom Savage's. No disrespect to Tom Savage, but he's what Bill Parcells called a jag, J-A-G, just another guy. He not bad, not great, just like all those other quarterbacks who came before him. I saw the first flashes last night of Deshaun's leadership, his electric body language, his playmaking style. He will bring things that Tom Savage just can't. And I saw a Deshaun Watson who I think pretty soon will make the Cleveland Browns regret they didn't take him with the first overall pick, and who will definitely make the Bears regret that they took Mitchell Trubisky with the second overall pick, and who will make the 49ers regret, and the Jaguars regret, and God knows the New York Jets regret that they didn't take this kid because he's going to change life in Houston. We saw him escape. We saw him run with the ball. We saw him get down and slide, which I loved, stay a little bit out of harm's way. And we saw him wing it and zing it because he can. It's not the most conventional looking throwing motion, but it works. He's not quite as consistently accurate as Dak Prescott, but it still will work because he's higher risk but higher reward. He can make more splash plays than Dak can make. I'm not saying he's better than Dak, but if they will start him now and let him play some ones against ones, he will eventually and fairly quickly do what Dak did for the Dallas Cowboys as a rookie last year. Born leader, born winner. Congratulations, Texans, but don't stunt his growth. Don't try to overprotect him. Don't try to keep him out of harm's way. throw him into the fire because this kid will thrive in the fire. I was impressed.
Skip, I'm not going to get ahead of myself because a lot of these guys that he were playing against, they're not going to be on the final 53-man roster. So I'm not going to heap all this praise that you're heaping. I thought he was poised. I thought he showed great composure. I thought he made some good throws. But Skip, you can always, for me, if I'm Coach O'Brien, I start Tom Savage game 2. I start Deshaun in game 3. Preseason game. When everything's going to be scripted, you're going to try to attack what they do. They're trying to attack what you do. Last night, they just went in there with basic plays. They're just running plays. They didn't care what the defense was, what the defense was going to run. The defense didn't care what the offense was going to run. So they're just playing their base defense, their base offense. Week 3 of the preseason, everybody's going to play their starters. At bare minimum, to the half, some will play well into the third quarter. Some might play 3 quarters because more times than not, the starters do not play the final preseason game. So with that being said, I would start him then. But Skip, you can always go back to Deshaun Watson if Tom Savage struggles early in the season. But I wouldn't put him in and then have to go to Savage and then try to come back to.
But why are you predicting failure? Why would you anticipate that he would not be able to stand up and live up?
I'm just going to base it because more times than not you see it. Skip, it's okay that if he doesn't start. That doesn't mean he's not going to be a great player. Guys have struggled as rookies, especially with the expectations. Dak did, but you have to understand, Dak was in a very unique perspective. He got drafted to a team that had the best offensive line. They selected the best running back in the draft, who turned out to be an all-pro and in the final running for Rookie of the Year. So that's a very unique situation. But Dak was a 4th-round pick. He didn't have the expectations of this young man because the team that selected him moved up 13 spots to get him. The Cowboys stayed exactly where they were, and Dak fell into their lap. Skip, they had no idea that Dak was going to be like this because if they had, they'd have took him instead of Zeke with the 4th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you.
Jerry wouldn't have publicly regretted not trading up for Paxton Lynch.
And he made it known.
Or not taking Connor Cook.
Right. And so with that being said, Skip, I always believe that if you start a veteran, you can go to the rookie. But if you start the rookie and he doesn't, and it goes sideways early, because this team have not only playoff, but deep playoff aspirations.
Yeah.
Skip. You look at their defense, they have weapons around. So if it's close, and I'm going to stick to this, Skip, if it's close, Coach O'Brien probably should go with Deshaun Watson. Not probably, he should. But right now, I don't see any reason why they should. Well, Tom, you didn't play. He played well enough last night to get another start in the preseason and then start Watson in the 3rd preseason game.
Okay, I just don't get the rationale of, okay, let's start Tom in preseason game number 2,
yes,
which will force Deshaun into what we saw last night, which was helter-skelter. He's playing with a lot of kids who won't even be on the roster.
Right.
Kids blocking for him might not be on the roster.
Right.
And it got to be a little backyard. You know, it just got to be a little grab bag.
Right.
You know, you just got to break out and roll and look and throw it away if you don't have anything.
Right.
And he hit one kid on the sideline for a first down, but he had stepped out of bounds first, so it's a penalty. He lost it down. Hit another kid over the middle, fumble, caught it and fumbled. I don't know. It's hard to evaluate what you're seeing because it's not fair to Deshaun because he's better than that. So why wouldn't you just, if you think he's going to start the dress rehearsal preseason game, well, let him have some snaps with the ones next week.
I'm going to let him start the 3rd preseason game because I know what Tom Savage. I've seen Tom Savage in meaningful gameplay situation. I've seen him in an actual live NFL game. So now I'm going to put Deshaun in because, like you said, I want to see him with our starters against their defensive starters. And so with that being said, Skip, why not? You know what Tom Savage is. He doesn't really need to be with the starters in Game 3 because you've already seen him in actual game competition. You want to see Deshaun Watson when they're scripting plays, when the defense is trying to attack you and you're trying to attack it.
What did your eye test tell you last night after you watched Tom Savage and then you watched Deshaun Watson?
Skip, he felt real. You can tell he was comfortable, but he kind of went home. Charlotte, North Carolina, and Clemson in South Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina, and Clemson, South Carolina. So he had the stadium was real friendly.
It was very friendly.
So
I agree. That's okay.
He did look good. He looked smooth. He'd have to do a better job of carrying that ball like a loaf of bread. because they're going to chop it from behind. It's going to be on the ground a bunch. So he has to do a better job of protecting. But I like that once he saw danger coming, he slid, got down. He looked smooth throwing the ball. He rolled. We know he has legs, Skip. We know he can throw the ball on the run. Hence that last second touchdown over Alabama in the national championship game. But Skip, there's no rush. I wouldn't rush this young man because I expect him to be great for us for an extended period of time. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Just like
the
Colin.
rush is this team is really good if J.J. Watt can get back to being J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
We don't know that yet.
Right.
But if he does, and they are what I think they are, with Deshaun Watson, they can go places. I think they can go to Foxborough for the AFC Championship game with Deshaun, but not with Tom Savage. And if you start playing musical quarterback and go back and forth between them, it's going to be a disaster. And I don't trust Bill O'Brien with the quarterbacks because he's got such a big ego. He's going to want to show you that conventional wisdom says, I want to go with the guy who's been here for 3 years who really gets my system. That's Tom Savage. And he's spoken out about how much he loves the kid. It was kind of a pet project of his. So his pride is on the line. And if he's not careful, his job is going to be on the line.
And I want you to stop every time we talk about a quarterback bringing up Dak Prescott.
You mean the guy who
I don't care what
had
you
the
mean.
best QBR in football all the way to the last game of the year when they mailed it in Philly because they didn't need it? That guy?
Deshaun Watson called me last night and told me to tell you, stop bringing him up.
He
with
did
that.
not. If he called you, he'd said, tell Skip thank you for all the
He
support.
did call me, but I'm saying it.
I only said that he was the best player in the draft before the draft.
That's my
And
homeboy.
I think we're seeing it. And I'm going to say it again. Would you like to be in the Cleveland Browns spot right now that you didn't take him?
No.
Thank you.
No.
How about Mitchell Trubisky? Would you like to be Mitchell right now after that game last night? How much pressure is on Mitch Trubisky, who probably won't see the field this year?
Skip, that's not Mitchell Trubisky's fault that Chicago traded up to get him.
You're right, but I do feel sorry for him because I feel even sorrier for the people who picked him.
Oh, Skip. I mean, somebody you're going to look down the line and you're going to say, well, it's just like with Steph Curry. You look at all the teams that passed him, what did he go, 8? You're like, don't you think they wish they'd had that pick back? But you do your value.
By the way, I said I'd take him number 1. That's just me.
Skip, but at the end of the day, you watch the tape, you look at your evaluation, you let everybody come together. Okay, what do you think? What do you think? And you make the best decision. You're not going to always be right. Even as great as Coach Belichick is, he's had some flops.
Jimmy Johnson had flops in Dallas with all those draft choices. It happens. But the shock to me is that year after year after year, the swings and misses on quarterbacks in the first round. It's just staggering.
Skip, you never know until you get that guy in your building, in your uniform, and sees what happened when live bullets, pardon the metaphor, are flying around him.
You're right.
Because you never know. I mean, he got a big heart. He was in the big stage, and then fold like a party chair at the end of the night.
We just had the classic example on our show right here yesterday, Ryan Leaf.
Yep.
Are you trying to lay claim to Deshaun Watson now?
That's my homeboy. He from Gainesville, Georgia.
Skip's the one that came out and said he was going to be
Hold
great,
on.
and you're being all hesitant.
Hold up, you from Enid, Oklahoma.
Enid?
Okay,
Where did
Idabel.
Enid come from?
You from Idabel,
I'm
Oklahoma.
not from Idabel.
Tulsa?
I knew a couple of people. No, close. You're
Okay.
getting warmer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's from Gainesville, Georgia. The Georgia boys, you know, them Georgia boys drop. You better hit the floor.
No mercy. The Panthers beat the Texans 27-17 last night, but Cam Newton did not play for Carolina. Cam is recovering from off-season shoulder surgery and didn't start throwing until late June. Panthers rookie Christian McCaffrey made his debut last night and ran for 33 yards on 7 carries. Skip, what do you expect from Cam this season after seeing the rest of the offense last night?
Every time I looked up last night, I saw another new weapon or a new improved weapon for the Carolina Panthers. They were just flashing off my screen last night. I saw Kelvin Benjamin, a guy that you've taken a few shots at on the show. He had his moment, you know. His body looked a little better. Maybe he's getting in a little better shape after he's been shamed even by his head coach. But Derek Anderson threw him a perfect sort of jump pass that he snatched out of the sky on Jonathan Joseph. And he looked like that monster of a receiver he can be.
Correct.
And I told you yesterday, the ESPN reporter who covers the Panthers predicted their breakout star this year will be Devin Funchess, who did catch a ball last night. So I'm like, okay. Obviously, Greg Olsen is there. He's still pretty good. Lil McCaffrey is just flat out electric. Just pew, pew. There he goes.
Yep.
And he's going to be matchup nightmare, play after play after play, though we can talk about this later. But I don't think you can keep pounding him between the tackles. But they still have Jonathan Stewart. Curtis Samuel, another high draft pick, didn't get to play last night. He's got a hamstring issue, but he's a 4.3 guy out of Ohio State. And then that little bird from South Carolina, every time I looked up, he was snatching a ball out of the sky. So I'm seeing weapons, and I'm feeling that the pressure is going to mount on Cam Newton to prove that 2015 wasn't an aberration. Because what a year it was. 35 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Yep. MVP. And ran with the ball, led the league of quarterbacks rushing, and obviously they go 15-1 and make it all the way to the Super Bowl, and then it all fell apart, unfortunately. But that doesn't take anything away from what a great year it was. Right. But then I look at Cam's other 5 years, and I told you also yesterday, even though he started off with 422 yards passing in his first game ever as a rookie, and then followed up with 432 yards passing as they went back home from Arizona to play Aaron Rodgers. 422 and 432. And since then, not one game over 400. And since then, in those 5 years, his average QBR of 61 has been below average. Right. And since then, his average one-loss record as the starting quarterback, 7-9, has been below average. So he's been okay in the other years. He's been pretty good in the other years. He was great in the 1 year. Right. So now it's time that you went and got him McCaffrey, you got him Curtis Samuel. Let's see what you got. Do I think he can live up? I think so. He's getting beat up. We know that. Yeah. He's going to have to figure out a new approach to this game because they're not going to protect him because he plays too much like a running back. But I think the weapons are here for them to return to what they were 2 years ago. They scored the most points in the NFL, and I could see that happening again.
Since Burger King is a sponsor of this segment, do I get an unlimited supply of French toast sticks?
That's a good
Do you want that?
Yeah, I want that.
Are they fried?
What difference does it make?
I don't know. I thought you were trying to clean it up.
I want an
Not
unlimited
that they aren't
supply.
great, but
oh, you eat them?
No, I don't. But
you don't like French
toast? It sounds good.
You don't like French toast?
I used to, man.
I still do. I don't eat it that much.
Okay.
Skip, I expect a bounce back year also because you look at what they've done, and Mike Shula mentioned it. He expects He expects Cam Newton to play more like Tom Brady and let his guys do the heavy lifting.
Yep.
We got McCaffrey, who can do some of everything. We got Samuel. Do you notice, Skip, that every receiver that come out of Ohio State, what do they have? Hamstring problems because they can run. Joey Galloway, Terry Glenn.
They're like track guys, all of them.
Boston, Samuel, check every last one of them because they can flat. Chris Carter never had a hamstring in because he couldn't run that fast.
I knew that.
I had to get that in.
I knew it was coming.
Skip, I believe his completion percentage will go up. His quarterback rating will go up.
Yep.
Because he's not going to be trying to throw the ball deep down the field all the time. Dump it off to McCaffrey, let him get 8 yards. Dump it up. Hey, take those hits. If they're going to play off Benjamin, as big as he is, throw it to him, let him run over and fall for a first down. Let those guys do the heavy lifting. And Cam, if I can tell you anything, you don't have to die on every hill. Every play doesn't have to be spectacular. You don't have to get the first down on every play. And Mike Shula, stop calling quarterback power. You don't take your quarterback, pull the guard, pull a fullback and a tackle, and have your quarterback with the ball in his hand running behind him like he's a running back. You need to stop calling some of these plays. Cam, you be smarter than that and get down. Live to see another day. My coach, Les Steckel, used to tell me all the time, he said, son, you got to learn when the journey's over. You can't die on every hill. Okay, you had to tell me but once or twice. Hey, you trying to get fight for those first downs, they steady holding you up and they hitting you all in the ribs and in your back. No, get out of bounds, Cam. Be smart about it. You're worth more to the Panthers and to your team, to that organization being on the field. How long do you think you're going to be able to play taking this kind of pounding? You're not going to play long, Cam. Be smart about it. They've done a great job getting him weapons. Now it's his job to use such said weapons. Do like Tom. Now, Tom threw the ball a lot down the field when he had Randy Moss. Now, he has a speedster now.
He does.
But he really revamped his game. I mean, Tom, the ball's not traveling no 30, 40 yards down the field. And Tom, here James White, here Deion Lewis, here Amendola, here Welker. Oh, Hogan, you wide open because they done double down on it.
Every once in a while, Chris Hogan got wide open down the field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he double moved them, or they try to play in and out on somebody, and he straight up the seam.
He fooled him. Can't run.
But yeah, see, if
7-11.
but if you notice, look at the white guys that play receiver. Those are the guys that have double-digit touchdowns. Ed McCaffrey had double-digit touchdowns. Jordy Nelson, because you sleep on that white boy. And then guess what? So now I'm in the locker room next week, killing you. Dude, smoked you.
See, Joy, he sleeps on this white boy day
I know that one can't run. I already know 100% for
every
certain
morning.
he cannot run. No, he can run for a long time. He's not running fast anywhere.
I don't know about that.
I know about that. No, Skip, stop now.
I lost one race to Jay Feely. I will admit this is a few years back, but
You lost to a kicker?
I lost to a kicker, but guess what that kicker did? We were at Disney World, and I was in running shoes, which was a mistake because I was slipping in the grass, but we ran on a soccer field.
Yeah.
So we ran 40 yards, and Jay Feely said, do you mind if I run barefoot? Well, I'd never thought about running barefoot, but it's a big advantage in the grass because you get a better toe hold.
Grip, yeah.
I mean, well, hello. What kind of feet y'all got?
Guess what? Jay Feely told me after he beat me, he beat me pretty good, but he said that he had just been timed he was with the Giants at that point. He ran 4.6. Well, I got to tell you, 4.6, that's what...
Jay Feely ain't never ran no 4.6.
What he said, and I believe it. He was a soccer star in high school as a scorer, as a wing. He can fly. Trust me, that's by white guy standards.
And guess what?
4.6?
And in high school, he was 30 pounds lighter. No, Jay Feely ain't running no 4.6.
He is
it ain't
an
happening.
athlete. Trust me, he's an
Stop,
athlete.
Skip.
You know what? Tom Coughlin listed him at safety as a backup safety. I'm serious. He's really athletic. So
people say the darndest thing.
You know what we learned,
What?
Shannon, about this is that Skip's not scared, and you are.
I'm not sure. Jason Witten not beat me in no 40. I talked to Antonio Gates a long time.
Skip actually raced. We're still waiting on you.
Ask Antonio. Antonio, he said, I already know I can't outrun you.
he did not say that.
I put my hand on the stack.
Antonio Gates, that would be a joke. Jason Witten, maybe it's like in the ballpark.
No, neither one of them could outrun me. No.
Antonio Gates?
No.
And you know what? Jason Witten took the challenge because he got in real shape now. You would be wiped out.
I outrun him in these mock straps. Just like this here.
Mock straps? With no socks on?
No, hey, look at back
You
like
make
this.
about 20 yards, and that hamstring is gone.
Nah,
Pop.
I'm gonna be so far ahead I can lift across the line. Drag it like Kirk Gibson around the bases. You won't believe what you just saw.
Yeah, that would be you. So here's my last thought on the Panthers. I know how much you love this kid because you play with his father, but they better be careful, just as they better be with Cam, about little McCaffrey because he is little. I know he's listed at 200 pounds.
Yeah.
You cannot bang him between the tackles
No.
because Stanford tried it last year, and they did not survive it.
Well, here's the thing.
He got really beat up.
The thing is, Skip, you got to run him some between the tackles. You don't want them to every time he comes into the game.
You can fool him between the tackles, but you can't try to establish him between the tackles.
No. But you got to give him some because if you don't, they're going to say every time he comes in, he's running outside and he's going out for a passing route. And you don't want that. You don't want to have signals. I mean, they used to do that with me. Hey, we got a flyer in here because I was light. I'd be sitting light, like, go, Skip.
We got to fly.
Hence the 96-yard touchdown. Hence the 82-yard touchdown.
Hence, 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. Nah, Skip, okay. I got about 12.
Yeah.
No mercy. LeBron is back on social media. Yesterday he tweeted, "Man, I need some run. Where are y'all hooping at? Off-season, please hurry up and end. I have basketball Jones." Jamal Crawford responded at LeBron, "You know Seattle would love to have you. Bless the crossover," which is Crawford's new pro-am basketball league in Seattle. LeBron responded, "May have to take a day trip up there when I'm back home in LA, bro." Home.
Yeah.
Shannon, what do you make of LeBron calling LA home?
I don't make nothing. Me and Bron got 2 homes. He has one in Akron and L.A. I have one in Atlanta, one in L.A. We got 2 homes. Now I'm in the market. There's a house that just went on the market on Monday in Bel Air. $350 million. I'm looking at it.
You're checking it out?
I'm checking it out.
Wow.
I mean, I can spend as much time in that house as Scaramucci spent as White House press communications director. Skip, why do we spend so much time trying to decipher and analyze and autopsy everything LeBron said? The man is home.
Because he wants it.
When they ask me, I was like, Sharpe, where you at? Man, I'm home. You in L.A.? Yeah, that's my home. That's where I live. I got a home in Atlanta also. Skip, we know he purchased the house in what, 2015? Here in the Brentwood area. So we know that. He spends a lot of his time here. He got a big old mansion. We got a big old mansion in Akron. We, notice I say we. I mean, got guest quarters. I mean,
Because you are homeboys.
yeah,
right?
we homies. And he's like,
Literally.
he loves playing basketball.
Yeah.
And he says he wants to pick up a game. And guess who ain't invited? Unc Drew. We not We not inviting him.
So LeBron's just going to pop up to Seattle for a day for a little run with crossover, right?
Man, you don't know? Yeah. He got G5 pilots on standby. Yeah. Hey, fire that jet.
Yeah, here we go.
Be there in 2 hours.
Heck, for that G5, that'd just only be about an hour, right?
No, it's going to take a little more than that. From California to Seattle.
That's a long way.
Yeah, it is.
I've done it.
Yeah, so it's going to, Skip, you can tell he loves what he does.
Yeah.
He's a gym savant. He's a student of the game. He's a weight room warrior. He does all that to keep climbing because he already on Mount Rushmore. And all he's trying to do is move a little further left. Because right now he in the, he to the right.
Yeah.
But he's trying to move the old George Washington spot.
All the way to the left.
He's trying to move an old Georgia spot.
#1 spot.
Georgia.
Oh.
Old Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's LeBron now, 6-0 in the final?
I don't care.
No, wait a minute. I'm mixed up. I'm confusing him with that other guy who's 6-0.
Well, Bill Russell is in George Washington slot. Since he got 11 rings.
Yeah, he does.
11 more than 6.
Shannon Sharpe.
Yes.
Or as I call you, Shannon Sharpe.
What?
You need to conduct an intervention with your man, LeBron James. You need to call Savannah, maybe call D. Wade, and everybody needs to come together and have a little intervention because your man LeBron has gone over the edge.
For what?
He is losing it on social media. He is clearly addicted to social media, way to a fault, because he's addicted to the attention that he needs to create for himself day after day after day. Can you imagine a player actually being on Mount Rushmore who needs to start little fires every day on Twitter?
Yeah.
Why? Well, you're the quote-unquote best player on the planet, LeBron. Why do you need daily attention? Why do you have to be a daily drama queen just to create buzzes, to create sensations that catch fire on the internet? You knew exactly what you were going to do. Yeah. If you say, clearly, LeBron has a chance after next year to leave. And one distinct possibility is that he would, quote unquote, come home, where his off-season home is, Los Angeles, Brentwood area here in West LA, and play for the suddenly back on the map Los Angeles Lakers. For a while, we thought it might be the Clippers. Now, the distinct possibility would be the Lakers, right?
Right.
So if you say home in a tweet and put LA next to home, what's going to happen? You know exactly what's going to happen. You need attention. You are addicted to attention. You're going to create a little wildfire on the internet. And he did it again yesterday because he can't help himself. He needs help.
He doesn't need
You
help.
need to help him.
First of all, Skip, the man has over 37 million Twitter followers. LeBron, you need to at me and let me get about 3 or 4 of them so I can just pass Skip for a day and I'll be good. Second of all, Skip, there's a reason why this man is the third. Well, he's second now. He's right behind Cristiano Ronaldo. That's why he get paid all the big bucks, because they know anytime he posts something, some sponsors know if he posts something, it's like you said, it's going to catch fire. And he is fire. Now, you keep talking about...
Why does he need to do this every day of the offseason?
The same reason Michael Jordan needed to respond to a 50-year-old dad in Chino Hills, California. Because he can. Because he wanted to.
Have we heard from Michael since? I was at his camp, obviously.
I don't care where he was at. I don't care if he was
questions.
sitting around the camp toasting marshmallow with those campers. And he tried to weigh in on LeBron and Kawhi. They asked him who the best player was. Well, that would be LeBron James. And then he had to add 2 more cents. He had already paid the tab. We didn't need any more money, Michael Jordan. Oh, but Kawhi Leonard is the best two-way player.
Well, he is.
Nobody asked you that.
Spoke the truth. I think a camper asked.
No, we asked you who's the best player.
Oh.
Then you added that. We had already printed you out a receipt, and then you go back and get something else, and then we had to add it up again. Don't that make you mad, Joy? I'm in the line, and somebody, oh, excuse me for a second, I'm sorry, and they go run back down the aisle and get something else. No, unring her and let me go. I ain't got time to be waiting on you. Write a list before you go to the grocery store. Michael Jordan, you need to stop chiming in on LeBron. LeBron, home, L.A., home, Akron, home, Saint-Tropez, home, the Swiss Alps, home.
The only thing worse is when your mom leaves you in line.
Santorini. He got a home in Santorini, too.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does.
Wow. So is he going to play there next year? We're not sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It's all what Savannah decides. She running the show.
So, question. Does the greatest player in sports history, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, need to live on Twitter day after day to remind today, now that he's gone, he's retired, does he need to keep reminding people, I'm still here, folks? No, he doesn't care. He is completely comfortable in his own skin. We rarely ever hear from Michael except when he does flight school. He does his camp, and if a camper asks him a question, he's a pretty honest guy. He'll just blurt out an answer to it that you're not going to like because it's going to be the truth.
It ain't the truth.
Yeah, it is. You know it, and I know it.
First of all, Skip, why does Michael get to do, someone, Jamal Crawford asked him, he's like, hey, won't you come see me up in Seattle? I might have to do that, bro. Okay. Take a day trip. That's all he said.
Why wouldn't you respond to each other via text privately where we don't know about it?
He might not have his number. Oh, okay. Everybody ain't got Braun's number like me.
Okay. So he's going to respond publicly, but he's going to know, I'm going to say, when I'm back home in L.A., knowing what the response will be up in Cavs Nation.
So you ask, when I'm home back in Akron, I'm going to fly from Akron to Seattle up for a day.
Could be.
Really?
Could be.
Stop, Skip.
Why would you call L.A. home when clearly you're from Northeast Ohio?
Where are you from?
Oklahoma, you know
where's
it.
home?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about where's your home?
It's in Los Angeles.
Okay, then.
I live here.
Okay,
I don't go back and forth.
He does.
Huh?
Well, I mean, Skip, he got long money like train smoke. When you got money, you think you're supposed to have one house, you making $88 million a year? How many houses would you have if you made $80 million a year? Tell me you only have one house.
One.
Skip, stop
I'm not like that.
Well, I tell you what, you might have one, but Ernestine gonna have like 3 or 4.
She might.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe. Well, Hazel might have one by herself somewhere.
Skip,
I don't know.
Skip, we need to stop trying. You stop trying to dissect and try to dive into this man's mind and try to come to the conclusion of what he's trying to do.
I'm going to dive one level deeper.
Oh,
Did you see Rudy Gobert's tweet? Not that Rudy Gobert counts here to this, but a lot of people read into it that it was sort of a subtweet aimed at Kyrie. And the tweet was, people care more about attention than winning, okay? Attention than winning.
Okay.
Aimed at Kyrie? I think not. The truth is, maybe it wasn't aimed at, but the truth of that tweet is it should have been aimed at one LeBron James. I told you I have a source very close to Kyrie, and I told you his number one issue with LeBron James, besides all the drama queen stuff that drove him crazy, but he thought that in the end, LeBron was more concerned with how he came off with the attention he received than with winning. And in the end, I told you he looked so satisfied when he walked off the floor after Game 5, in which they had been closed out in 5 games because he had averaged, for the first time in the history of the finals, a triple-double. So he got his. Nobody can criticize LeBron because he's good.
Of course.
He did something nobody's ever done, and they lost in 5 games.
The best player, no matter how well or how bad they play, will always receive criticism. And like you heaped it on him, it was still his fault because he shouldn't have passed that ball. He should have drove the ball in Game 3. Well, he shouldn't have let Kevin Durant pull up. He should have went to the free throw line. It's easy to say. But Kyrie,
it's just the truth.
Kyrie shouldn't have been 0 for 7 from 3 in Game 3. Kevin Love should have had more than 9 points in Game 3.
Co-stars, this is the best player on the planet, according to Shannon Sharpe.
Hold on.
Where was he?
Hold on. What movie you know they only have one actor in it?
Well, there's always the featured actor who's the first.
Feature.
Who gets the first.
But they also give awards for supporting actor and actresses.
Okay. So Kyrie wins the Academy Award year after year for Best Supporting.
No, he didn't need.
He was the closer.
Steph Curry. Steph Curry got that award this year. Steph Curry got that award.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you saw what he did.
Yeah, but who won the award of awards? It was Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant won. Skip, I'm not arguing that. But you want to make the leap because he won the MVP of the finals. Now he's the best player. And I can't go there with you. I can't get there with you. Just because you win the Oscar, that doesn't make you the best actor.
Eye test. He was the best player on the court.
It made him the best player for that game.
Oh, those 5
For those 5 games, yes. But he's not the best player in the world.
Boy, you sure look like it to me.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. I saw guts. I saw intangibles. I saw big shot making. I saw clutch. I saw leadership. I saw a guy
what is 32,
rose
12, and 10?
shone.
What is 32, 12, and 10?
Stats. Empty calories. That's what they are. That's
Did they taste good? Or they ain't empty?
They tasted good for you, but not so much for people who were supporting the Cavs who really actually wanted them to win.
Skip. How do you come to the conclusion? How do people draw the conclusion? Because LeBron had a triple-double and he wasn't boo-hoo crying that he didn't care about winning or losing.
Well, he didn't seem to be taking it very hard.
All I'm saying is, Skip, this is what you do. You give it everything you possibly have. You leave no stone unturned in your preparation. You eat right. You train right. You watch tape, and you give it your absolute best. Is it killing him inside? Absolutely. But I'm not going to let people like you and you see me get upset about it.
Well, why did she get included?
Because she a hater because he left Miami. Now, he probably went home to Savannah and probably broke down. And Savannah told him, baby, it's going to be okay.
Oh, so he breaks down in private, but everything else is public on Twitter.
You know what he need to do? A foot and a rock. Kick rocks, everybody. I need to come up with an emoji. They got an emoji for a rock, and I need a foot.
Well, he should have posted like 20 crying face emojis, right, after the game. Then we'd know for sure because it got validated on Twitter. We'd know exactly what he thinks.
No.
He only thinks on Twitter. He thinks out loud.
We're going to give y'all a little glimpse into the window of what we like. We ain't going to tell you everything. Everybody, hold on. You think a good chef going to tell you everything they put in their best dish? Absolutely not. No. So LeBron ain't gonna tell you everything. Gonna leave a little something for you to come back, cause he know you gonna be on there scouring. Oh, you see what LeBron said? You don't follow nobody. But you sure be on the internet scouring, looking for everything everybody say.
Why couldn't he have said the next time I'm in LA, or the next time I'm at my house in LA, or the next time I'm on the West Coast?
So is that how thoughtful you are every time you respond to a tweet?
No, but
okay then.
But I'm not LeBron James.
So.
Shannon, is LeBron James not a really smart man?
Very smart. Highly intelligent.
High IQ.
Yes.
Knew exactly what that phrase would detonate home in L.A. You know it, and I know it because he knows it. And somewhere right now, he's cackling because he got another attention fix.
So you know what, LeBron, next time say, hey, I'm in Akron. My home is Akron. I only go to live in Akron. I don't go travel anywhere but Akron.
Come on.
And if you come back, you know, I might come out to Seattle from Akron. He's home. We have 2 homes.
Shannon.
Skip. I'm about to have a 3rd one.
Yeah.
Let me get a loan.
Yeah, let you get a loan.
$350 million, Skip. I put $70 million down.
No big deal.
30-year fixed at 4%. Only have to pay like $1.8 million a month. If I get a loan, Skip.
Yeah.
Hook a brother up.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.